What's going on out there, good people? It is your boy Look Around with LMD Trading, and we are back. We are back with another daily trade review. Today was a fairly slow day. Only took 5 trades this morning. Actually shut it down a little early. Ended up getting paged out and had to go do some work, so shut it down. Took a couple of shorts that didn't quite work. We were flat on those. Took a couple of long trades that didn't quite do what we thought they would do. Got out of those for small gains, and we ended up just shutting it down. Took one more short on the way out the door, risking like 10 bucks on it, and ended up moving the stop down and shut down. And I see that it stopped me out where I had my stop at. So let's go ahead and take a peek at TRADERVUE real quick. Not going to look at the thumbnail watch list today, I don't think. We'll just go straight over into TRADERVUE. We're reviewing trades for Thursday, August 11th. Like I say, we took 5 trades today. Closed P&L 60 bucks. We might have traded all of 35 minutes. 35, 40 minutes for the most part, seems like it. But you see what we did. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on each of these real quick just so we can look at the charts inside of TRADERVUE, and then we'll go to the video. Fairly flat trade here. We were sized up 100 shares on this one. 100 shares would have had us with a 50-cent stop. So we'll see how that looks in the video. But as you can see, we were taking a short to break this area. And this thing just would not go. This was 6 flags. Look at this huge gap, though. That's a pretty big gap. It's like a $4 gap on a $22 or $26 stock. Excuse me. Hopefully that didn't get picked up. But we see this kind of curled back up. We actually gave this quite a bit of room. Had to stop up here. Let's look at it on the 5. Had to stop up a good little ways. Let's see, how do we have the chart? So 5, 10, and 30. So we did put them back pretty much how we like to see them. But let's see, we were down a max of 48. So this one almost stopped us out. We was risking 50 bucks on this thing. So yep, this did have a 50-cent stop. You see how close it came to stopping us out. Came back down. I pretty much moved the stop to break even, because if it didn't break this point here, it was not going lower. That was my thinking on it. We come over to the 30, and we see that it did eventually push down a little bit, but just didn't like the action on it. And you see it here on the 10-minute too. It came back up a good little ways. Wouldn't have stopped us out. Maybe went about 1 R, but just did not do what we thought it was going to do. And it was a pretty big size gap. Pfizer, this was our other short. Let's take a peek at the chart. This one here. Oh, look at the 5. Not really what you want to see. The 10, decent, but nowhere to enter. Let's look at the 2, because this is what we should have been entering on, was the 2. So got in right here. Stop was back up here on the top side. And this one wouldn't push either. This one would not push either. We were trying to at least get it down, back down to the lower day. Just wouldn't go. Had good strength. This one went against us a half R. Looked like we was risking 25 cents on that one. Max unrealized was 18. It just would not go. So ended up getting out of it. And we see that it came right back down to that area there. And then this thing found all kind of strength. So good exits on those two. You always hear me talking about I'm getting out of them a little early. Today was one of those days that I got out of all of these trades correctly. We're going to verify that though. But it felt like I got out of all of these correctly. I think I'm going to flip these. I'm going to put the two minute up here so we can look at that one first. This one here, honestly, was a chase. Gotta admit, this was the entry right there. Look at that. Look at that nice flat top breakout. Put the entry there, stop there. This one made money. This one just got in and kind of just watched it on its way up. Once it came up here, and let's look at it on the 2-minute. So this one came up, pulled back. Once it made that move back up again and it did not set a new high, stop was being brought up. And you're going to see on this one, I actually tried to bring the stop back down a little bit. And I got stopped out before it took my order to bring the stop back down. But look at how much we were up on this one. Max unrealized was $80 on this thing, and we made 39. Let's look at it on the 2 again. Yeah, it's a fairly decent exit. Probably couldn't have tightened it up a little bit more, because when this didn't push over that, we were done. I was like, nope. And you see this thing pull back. It tried to go again, and it stalled out. So that's what I'm learning to look for when I'm moving that stop up. If this thing pulls back and when it goes again, it does not set the new high, it doesn't break the pivot point, then I need to look at getting out. But if it pulls back, it breaks the pivot point and keeps going, there's no reason to get out. So that was a good exit on that one. What's the next one here? Next one is AFRM. What kind of pattern do we have on this? 5-minute not really showing nothing. 10-minute is breaking this area right here. Look at the 2. 2, same thing. Getting in right here. Stop right there. We'll have to look at this one on the video. I did not like the price action on this thing. I moved my stop to get out of it. This was just one of those trades I didn't feel it. Once I got in it, I moved my stop and then it popped. And I'm like, you son of a biscuit. Look at the next 2-minute candle. Boom. That was target in that candle. This thing literally just exploded, and then you see it pull right back. You see it came back up. It didn't set a new high. That move is dead. That's exactly what I'm learning to look for. This thing makes this move. It pulls back. If this next push to the high side does not break the previous high, nah, I'm looking to get out. So another good exit. We were risking a bill on this one. We was risking $100. It went against us 63. Max unrealized was 28. We stopped out at 13. Another good exit. Another good exit. Because you see that this thing would have came back and stopped us out full. So that was another good exit. And then this was just a little $10 short. Let's take a peek at it. Look at that. This is what I like to see on the 5. Entry right there, and look how tight the stop is. Get in right here, and you can use this tight stop. I got in here, and I used the high of this candle as my stop. But we see it made a nice move. It made this nice move. And then it came back up. I can't remember where I had the target set at. Can't see it on here because this has does this have, yeah, it has the VWAP on there. We'll have to see when this gets brought up, because I want to say it was some kind of moving average down here that I remember seeing on the chart. But this one went in our favor, 16. Like I said, we was risking 20. So it never did hit target even coming all the way down. Just barely went against us. But that's the beauty of having a tight stop. If you can get in right there with that tight stop, that's money. This one would have hit target using that candle for your stop. But those were our 5 trades. Let's go ahead. Let's pull up the video real quick. We'll take a peek at them in there, and then we'll be on our way. Bam. Let's go ahead. Let's get this video started. Let's see. We got in our first trade at 940. Here, I was trying to bring this chart right here over some. See how it's so close to that corner right there? See how these candles are off the edge? For some reason, it would not do it for me. So I have to look at that so that I can get this chart to have these candles over. But that's what I was doing right then. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Today was a day also of missed opportunities. I would take a peek at the thumbnail watch list. I would see something about to run and I would miss it. And I'm like, doggone it, I missed a good trade. So see here, we just kind of setting up, seeing if this thing is going to give us a 3-bar play. Wanted to see that candle come up. It didn't do it. Took off. No ghost. Trying to be patient. This is the one, man. This is the one I missed. Look at me. I'm trying to get everything set up. I'm seeing how much room I got to this next area that I got marked on the chart. Just kind of lollygagging. Actually, should have dropped the line right here on the 5-minute. Look where that candle ended at. Now is the time to get in the trade. Use this candle as my stop bar. But I'm still looking at this like, I know that this is a good trade. I just did not pull the trigger. I didn't pull it and it just went. So we come back over to 6. This was our first trade. We got 5 minutes before we take this trade though. Was again, kind of hesitating. Let's see, getting in for 50 cents, 100 shares. We playing that for $50. So just still trying to be a little more patient. Trying to be a little more patient. We got everything set up. We put the order in the system. And this time we leave it. There's a couple of trades you're going to see that I should have done that, and I didn't do it. I think it was Carvana. So we're looking at Disney. Nothing really there to see. 5-minute might have been setting up for a 3-bar play up here. Trying to figure out. I had an app on here where I can turn my mouse cursor on. I can't find it, but I'm up here looking at the 5-minute. This was somewhat setting up for a 10-minute 3-bar play. So just kind of watching it. I'm going to scroll it on up. Pfizer, we are about to get in Pfizer. Let's take a look at this. Junk to the left. Look at all of that junk to the left. This was kind of in an uptrend, or we call it a transition. It was kind of transitioning here on the 5-minute during the pre-market. So we see that it's set a higher high, higher low, higher high, and it's dipped down and set this lower low, but comes right back and sets a higher high. So not really a good entry off of the 5. You're looking at the 2-minute. Not really. You got these bottoming tails, which I like to call those bottoming tails indecision. That's indecision in that candle. Same thing over here on the 1-minute, but it is kind of rejecting this area, but still not getting confirmation on all the charts. So I need to focus on that. 10-minute has a huge top and tail, so that's good. But would have wanted to see this get pushed down a little bit before really getting into it. This is like a early anticipation entry for this candle to come down some more. I'm going to go ahead and speed this one up. It's just going to trigger us in. Man, it is 1 o'clock and we getting that afternoon thunderstorm early. Let's go ahead. We're going to just speed this up. Speed it up. It's not going to do much. MTTR, we do take this trade. This was one that I found on the pre-market gap list. I took this solely because it was running, putting the stop below the previous green candle with the thought that this thing is just spitting off green candles. So no real pattern. You don't really see a pattern on this that I'm used to taking, but I sized up with $100 risk because I'm thinking this thing is just gonna keep spitting off these candles. Look at the 1 minute, just kind of grinding up, and that was the plan. And basically the thought was just to kind of let this thing work and then kind of just chase it with the stop. This is what I do when you see me taking those 10-minute or those $10 risk trades later on in the morning, just kind of trying this strategy out. But I sized up on this one this morning just because I liked the way that it was running. This here is not really what I want to see though, but it's only 4 huge green candles. Wait till you watch Carvana and you'll kind of see what I was talking about. Come back here looking at Pfizer. Pfizer is not doing nothing. So we come back over here, peek at that one. We peek at VERU. This is the one that we missed. Remember, we trying to get in this one down here. And look at what it's done. Totally missed that opportunity. I think this even halted up. Now we see MTTR is doing what it's want to do. We still got our stop down there, so not really chasing it, trying to let this one work. We'll start looking in a minute. There we go. So now we've tightened our stop up. Let me back that up a little bit. So we see it sets this new high and it starts pulling back. I need to put a clock on here. Actually, we can see it right here on time and sales. So see how this candle is about to close with a top and tail. I don't want to see this candle closing. You see most of those candles had closed with either bottom and tails or pretty much in the middle. I don't want to see that top and tail. So that's why I kind of tighten my stop up a little bit. Just bring it to break even. Let's speed it up a little bit. But we see it gets back strong again. Gets back strong again, but it doesn't break that high. See how that candle, man, let me bring it back real quick. So see how that candle pushes up? It should have broke the high of that candle and kept going. But this has all them sellers. That's sellers in that candle. So if the buyers don't outweigh those sellers, I'm like, nope, let me tighten it up. And then watch what I do. Watch what I do. I'm like, maybe I have it a little too tight. Maybe I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing. And you see, I have it right now set at the bottom of that candle. Have it set at the bottom of that candle. And I'm like, well, let's see. And see, I kind of jiggled the mouse over there. That's basically for me to say, look, this is not making a new high. This move might be dead, or we might be getting a good solid pullback. It's a good stop where I have it at. Look what I do. I try to drag it down. Boom, it comes and stops me out. The stop guides made me a few extra dollars on that trade there, because I would have stopped out down here and I would have made less money. Watch what it does. Boom. Look at that. So again, that was a good exit. Let's go ahead. Let's speed this up. Pfizer's still not doing nothing. This is the one that we missed again. This is Carvana. What scared me on these were on the 5-minute chart. All of these big green candles. You look at the 10, those big green candles. I want to get in off of this candle right there. We see it already. It's kind of popped. But then I say, okay, I'm going to let this candle go ahead and finish. That's me trying to be patient. I'm trying to be more patient getting in my trades. We got 30 seconds still in that candle though. But look where the stop is at. Putting the stop, that's a decent entry. Gonna put that stop still down below that. Dollar stop, buying 100 shares. So we taking $100 risk on this trade. We'll go ahead, speed it up. Kept it in the system, speed it up. And then I removed the order out of the system because I start seeing this little push down. We'll come back. I think I'm gonna come back and pull that chart up again, but we see Pfizer still not doing nothing. I come back and I look at Carvana. I still can go with a stop here, entry there. Let's look at some other charts real quick. No real strength though, so I can kind of see why I hesitated. Again, we got all of these green candles here. Speed it up. Come back looking at Pfizer. Nothing there. Now look what Carvana then did. It peekabooed over. Oh, I'm sorry. This chart looks like Carvana. There we go. We back at Carvana. So there we go. I still can keep that same dollar stop. I can get in at 53.75. I noticed I didn't have my share size right, so that's why I took that order out. But I just was leery. One of the reasons, look at the spread. And did you just see how choppy that was? So that was the other reason why I was like, nah, I like to see tight spreads, and I don't like all that choppiness. So I don't take that trade. Come back looking at Pfizer. You see we had gotten out of Pfizer by now. Made $2 off of it. Just basically a flat trade. Now we come back and we look at, let's go back over there. Go back and look at Carvana and look at what it's done. Look at this thing. It's already up 1R. So I come over here and I look at AFRM. AFRM peekaboo right over this area that I got marked on the chart. So I'm liking that. The one thing that I didn't like is if you look up at the 5, look at the high, the pre-market high, 39.15. Market high is 38.89. So we're going to run into that little bit of pre-market highs. Should have dropped a line right there on the chart so it would have been easier for me to see, so I wouldn't have to go up there and look at it, because I'm not sure if I noticed that when I was taking the trade. But now that that candle's finished, stop is below it, entry is above it. We got a 25-cent stop. We bought 400 shares. That's $100 risk on that trade. So we did size up on it. 1 minute looking decent. 1 minute's looking decent. Hadn't changed that over to the 30 yet. 10 minutes looking strong. 10 minutes is looking strong. 5 minutes is looking strong. But again, resistance on this candle, resistance on that candle. And boom, we finally get triggered in and bam. That's when sellers kind of just trap you. They waiting on people that they know gonna get entered in on this play. And then they like, nope, we're gonna trap you. Let's kind of speed this up. Buyers still trying to stand strong though. And there we go. Peekaboo's up. I move my stop down because I see that candle right there. See where my stop is at? It's right on that candle. And then I'm like, nope, let's just go on and get out this trade. And that's what we did. Didn't have the confidence in that trade. I'm not even sure how that thing finished though. See, it peekabooed over. What did it do? Did it go up to there to that? Oh, look at that. We would have hit target. We would have hit target on that one, y'all. And some. And some. I just didn't have the confidence in that or that. Man. Man. So now we had gotten triggered in. If y'all remember, we put that order in for 6. It's just still lollygagging around. Ain't really doing nothing. We see that it comes back down to this area. And I'm like, if it does not break that area, I'm going to just go ahead and get out of here. So it struggles. It struggles. I'm like, nope, I'm done. And I come back and look at Carvana. This is the one that we took the order out of the system. So this was a good trade. We just did not pull the trigger. What I am liking is that I am seeing good trades. That's half the battle. Seeing good trades. Now the other battle is having confidence. Now on this one, I told Evan, me and Evan was chatting this morning. I was like, I like the 2 minute. The 2 minute looks good for this little pullback and go. But look at the 5 and look at the 10. No way I'm going to take a 2 minute pattern with the 5 and the 10 looking like that. This is way too extended. Even though it looks like it's going to give you a nice little pullback to the 9 on the 2 minute, use that higher time frame to really dictate what needs to go on. So I was like, as much as I like this bottom and tail, if this finished that same way and then I get another candle going higher, I'm not taking that trade. I'm not going to see how that one kind of peekabooed over there. I'm not taking that trade because this 5 minute is horrible, especially with this top and tail. Can't do it. So we didn't take that one. Now I come over and look at SNY. This was the last trade of the morning. I had pretty much packed up everything, but this is rejecting previous low of day. So that's good. Kind of heavy. Got a lot of volume in this red candle. This one here is building up good volume. You come down to the 2 minute, same thing, but we only risking $10 on this trade, giving this a lot of room. We're giving this a lot of room. And we were playing it back down. I knew it was a some kind of, that's VWAP right there on the chart. So playing this back down to the VWAP on the 5. And we see that it had respected it a couple of times. Respected it there. So we were looking for this to break down and flush. We see it would have been breaking this area on the 10. And you notice on my charts, I try to just keep 1 or 2 averages on there. So this gold one is VWAP. This teal one is the 9 moving average. And then all of them have a 50 moving average set to the hourly time frame. So that one is going to show the same on every chart. But I try to keep my charts fairly clean and just use candles and volume to kind of see what the stock is going to do. Price action and volume. And then just looking for solid patterns. So again, the thought was this was going to get heavy. And at this point, I was shutting it down. What we got left? Just a couple of minutes. This trade actually ended. It actually triggered me out while I was even out of my office. I had walked away. And that's the good thing about putting those stops in. But gave it room. And then I eventually do tighten the stop up before I leave. This thing will finally kind of push down. And I'll tighten the stop up. We'll come back over, peek at Carvana. Look at that thing. That's what I was talking about. It gave one little push, and then that was all she wrote. So look at it. Had I entered this off of the 5 minute, off the 2 minute chart, like it was going to be a good trade, getting in here, stop there for this push, you'll be like, why didn't that trade work? It didn't work because of the 5 and 10 minute charts. Those 2 charts right there are telling you, even on the 1 minute. 1 minute looked like it was going to be in another nice little up pattern. Nope. 5 and 10, highly extended. So that was it. I'm going to go ahead, pause it. And that was it. So fairly decent day. Got out of a couple of trades too early. We'll admit that. Got out of a couple of them too early. And also didn't get into Carvana when it was initially making that move. But I'm content with today. A lot of times you hear me kind of down because I'm getting out of trades a little early. The ones that I did get out of early today, I got out of because I didn't really have faith in the trade and not so much that I was trying to keep a tight stop. So I'm good with getting out because I'm not liking the price action, or if it's too spready, if it's too whippy. Because that one that popped, it could have easily popped to the downside, the way that the price action was moving in it. So definitely not mad at my performance today. And I will be looking forward to seeing what Friday offers. It's been a good month so far. A lot of people like to say that August is kind of slow. I know the small cap traders have been having all kinds of movement with small caps. Man, it's been just incredible the way that those stocks have been moving lately. But like I said, that's not really my forte. That's not my forte. I like the way that the bigger caps move, and I like that they kind of respect those patterns. And me being a pattern trader, my strategy seems to work a little bit better with that. We'll eventually scale up, and as we scale up, we're gonna see that profit margin increase. So appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If you're not already subscribed, please think about subscribing, because like I say, every day is a learning day over here. I am basically in college. When I lose on a day, when we have a red day, that just meant I paid a little tuition. Thankfully, college has been free lately. We hadn't had to pay no tuition. So go ahead, subscribe. Please like, share. I don't never say share, but yeah, if you know some people that's interested in maybe getting into day trading and you want to see how a new day trader is faring, been trading for about a year, still call myself new. I don't think you really understand this thing for maybe 3 to 5 years before you truly understand what this market is all about. So that's all about having expectation. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Peace.